Hello, this is Scott Cordell, and the video today is going to discuss the homework for CSC210 database design, and we're looking at the week 4 assignments. Now for assignment 4.2, the BITS Corporation exercises. We looked at some of these earlier in the book, and by the way, these start on page 128 and go to page 129 at the end of chapter 3 this time. So what I want you to do is we're going to deal with Access one more time. This time, we're going to deal with the SQL View. Everything in Chapter 3 talks about SQL. So to get started, I've already opened up Access. I am in my BITS database, you can see here. And here are all my tables. I've got no queries, nothing else showing. And to get started with this, I want to look at the very first question, which is to display all of the name and number of the clients. Specifically, it says list the number and name of all clients. Now, I'm going to get started this time by doing exactly like we did last week. Go to Query Design. I'm going to add the client table. Again, I prefer to have this completely open here so I can see everything that I might need. So I've opened up the box. I want the client number, client name of everyone. Now, you did this one before in week 2. Using Access, we did this same thing. So when I run it, should be no surprise, this looks just like one of the tables you've seen before. Now, what we've done is this is the datasheet view. Back here is design view. The screenshot I want this week is even different. Click the arrow on view, and notice we have a SQL view. Now, you are welcome, and by the way, yes, it always shows up as highlighted when you start. And after that, you've got to actually turn off the highlighting. Just click anywhere in there. So with this, we've got this one completely. If you want to copy this and paste it into Word, you're fine. Or again, if you prefer to do screenshots, you can take a screenshot of this. But this command is the SQL command. SQL, SQL, stands for Structured Query Language, or some people refer to it as Simple Query Language. The structure is this. To run a query, you have to have two statements, a select and a from. Now, there are also about 4 others that you can have after that, but the first one has to be select, the second one has to be from, the others are optional. In a select statement, you've got to list all of the columns you want to see in your report. So if I wanted the report to show client number and client name, then it makes sense that back here in the SQL statement, I've got client number there, I've got client name. Now, Access does something that isn't always required, but it's good practice. Notice that I've got client.clientName, or num, sorry, client.clientNum, and then over here I have client.clientName. What that is doing is the preferred way, or the very structured part of structured query language, is to use the table name first, and then a dot, and then the column name, and then a comma, and then the next table.client, or table.column name. Now, I can do this without the tables here. In the select, I have to have it down here, but let's say for this one I don't want to see it, then I can actually take the table name dot out, because both of these exist in this one table. So there's no confusion. I'm not using client num from the orders table. I'm using it from the client table, only one there. Again, if I run this, same result. So if you want to have a cleaner statement, then I could copy this, paste it in Word for number 1, no problem. All right, so again, I'm going to do another one here with you. We're going to skip down. I'm not going to save that one. We're going to go to the same thing, go to Create from Query, and let's just do one that takes a couple of things. Let's look at number 3. We're going to use the client table again, because this time they want the number and name of every client, but only those represented by consultant number 22. So again, just to get everything ready, I have the client number, I have the client name, and then I have the consultant number. But since I only want specific ones, I need consultants that are only 22. Running this right now will give me all of them, and I can count that there is 1, 2, 3, 4 results. And I could even write down these results and kind of guess what this is going to show. We don't want to guess. We want to make this work the way that it should. So to limit only on this, I'm going to say consultant number 22. Notice I'm not going to limit any criteria, not specific clients, and not specific names of clients. I want specific numbers of consultants. So I'm going to type in 22 there. When I press Tab, it adds the quotes for me, and now I can see that all of these are only consultant number 22. Now, I'll give you one of my little pet peeves here. I want to go back to Design View. The instructions for number 3 that we're looking at say to list the number and the name. It doesn't say list the consultants' numbers. So I'm going to uncheck Show here. All that's going to do is not show that column in the results, but still use the criteria. So I still get the same 4. I am just missing this column over here. So the report's a little bit neater, and I could give a title to it and all that sort of stuff and make it neater. But I want you to look at how this works in SQL View. Select client.clientNum, so client table, column client num, the client table client name. From the client, again, you need select, you need from. Since everything's from the client table, I technically can get rid of these. And then where, and this is a long mess here. We're going to clean this up really well in just a minute, but I want to make sure this works still. I still have my 4. I'm going to go back to Design View, and let's turn back on Consultant Number to show you the difference. So again, we got our consultants back. Notice now it's Client Num, it's Client Name, and Consultant Num. In other words, the select works just like show. Now again, I'm going to clean this back up and get rid of my Client Num, and I really don't want to show Consultant Num here, but this is what happens to a lot of students. I'm going to get rid of that. Please get rid of that comma at the end as well. And again, we're back to the same sort of thing. Now, as far as this where, Access really, really, really likes parentheses. I can tell you right now, I don't need the one around client.consultantNum, so that one can go. And then if we look at what's left, I've got 2 parentheses in the front and 2 in the back. In other words, they're duplicated. So I want to get rid of one of each of those, and that's really all we need for this. Now, if we had more complicated statements, yeah, we could require more. Run this. There's the same statement, so now we have a SQL statement that's cleaned up. And by the way, this statement, I'm going to copy it exactly as it is. So this is now ready to copy and paste from here and into Word for answer number 3. Now remember, in the textbook there are examples. I believe there are 33 or 30, a total of 30 different examples that are in Chapter 3 to help you with every single one of these. They're all referenced in there, and then the homework is based on those 30 examples. Luckily, there's only 18 questions, so not all of them are used. Once again, my name is Scott Cordell. This is for CSC210 Database Design, Week 4 homework. I hope you enjoyed the video and that it helped you get started. If you have questions, please give me a call or text me or somehow contact me. Let me help you. That's what I'm here for. Thanks for watching.